So for the last several weeks, it's been very cold out, negative temps, and so we've had the goats inside. So we're trying to kind of wean them outside, and we're gonna try them with this fence. I don't know how they'll react to it. They've already got shocked by one fence and they really didn't like it. So I think the chances are pretty good if we can get them really early to kind of get trained on being an electric fence. They're gonna do a heck of a lot better. So we've got our fence already set up, and so we're gonna send them out here for a couple hours. It's like 40 degrees today, so it's still not super warm, but we're gonna get them out here on a pasture, and so they can kind of nibble around on the grass and kind of get used to being outside. And we are going to clean their bedding and all that while they're out here. And so we're just gonna kind of slowly introduce them to the outside and to be on pasture, and hopefully get them used to this electric fence. Don't act like you don't like it. All right, little scoundrels. Yeah, they're going pretty hot and heavy over the grass now. I think they're getting the hang of eating grass. Using the Gallagher fence system. This is a Gallagher charger, as well as the Gallagher netting. I like the Gallagher netting a whole lot more because it has this plastic stiff piece that kind of keeps the netting separated, whereas the other stuff that I've used doesn't have that. You might be able to get it in that model, but I didn't get it in that model, and I don't know if it's available, but I really do like this Gallagher fencing. It's been my favorite one so far. Is it on? Yeah. I don't think he touched it long enough to get it zapped, but they will try it. I'm releasing them. Let them see that corn, they'll go. Oh, that one's got it. He sees them. Here, toss me one. Hey. Good piggies. Good piggies. Good boys. Uh-oh. They seen something. He's getting like, he's getting the freaking zoomies like a dog. Good thing I'm good at going backwards, fellas. Okay. Good job there, guys. All right, now we're almost there. Here you go. Well, there's 2 out of 4 in. So we got the pigs on the electric netting. So far they haven't even tried to touch it, which is good, but I do want them to get zapped a couple times so they can kind of learn. But they went from basically having like a 6 by 4 foot area, and the reason we did it so small is so we could kind of, it's so cold that we just wanted to be able to keep them warm. And so we had a little good shelter in there and stuff, and it's just a little not a permanent little pen for them, but we're gonna try them on this and see how they do. And of course we still got to put a little shelter in here for them out of their other place, but as you can see they got a ton of room in here. We had garden, the garden was over here in this muddy spot last year, and so there's a lot of like different roots and stuff that I'm sure they can go digging around for. I got my sorghum piled up here that they can munch on, and then they got tons of fresh grass over here. I mean, it's dead grass because it's winter, but like they can still dig that around. And what I'm hoping to happen is they can till up this part of the garden and then extend the garden over here, and they can do most of my tilling for me, so I don't have to actually get in there. I may have to just use the tiller or whatever and run it through there a couple times just to mix everything up, but for the most part I think they're gonna basically kill all the grass and root all the soil up and kind of mix it all up for me. So that will be pretty awesome. And maybe get the chickens in here next to get all the little stuff, all the little seeds and stuff, and little eggs and insects and whatnot that the pigs don't get. And I think this is going to be a pretty cool and effective method to essentially make my garden area and keep the pigs happy and keep the chickens happy, and not use any gas for tilling, or use a lot less gas for tilling. Got Fraggle Rock in there. Did you ever watch that cartoon, Fraggle Rock? Are you too young for that? Those were when cartoons were awesome. That's what he reminds me of though. He's like crazy looking hair, Fraggle Rock, long skinny neck. This is what I like to see. We got chickens over there on that side scratching around, eating stuff. We got the pigs over here destroying this, what's left of these deer that I butchered. And they're eating corn too. And just tearing all this ground up. That's exactly what I want them to do. Thirsty piggies. Nice clean water for you. One of the pigs just got shocked, so hopefully the others start kind of getting zapped and then learning, and I think this is going to work out pretty dang well. They've got a lot more room to roam around and a lot more, you know, stuff to root up. So they still need a little bit of a heat source, especially at night when it gets, you know, below freezing. But they can definitely go outside, and I can have my garage back. So we're gonna do some cutting, use a sawzall. We're gonna make kind of the same thing. If you've seen my ICB tote sheep shelter, it's gonna be kind of the same ordeal, except I'm just gonna kind of cut it in a different place. But yeah, I'm gonna cut around that spout, open that up, and then I'm just gonna put another hole so that we can put the heat lamp in there and set that up for them. So it'll all come together hopefully pretty easy and pretty fast, because the main part of the shelter, the ICB tote, you know, is already formed. So it's just a little bit of cutting here and there. So these IBC totes come in pretty handy for like quick little shelters for these little guys. And so what we did was we just popped the tab, and this unscrews out in the middle here, and we just ran our heat lamp through there down into this. And so they've got a nice little warm environment down there that we can turn on if it gets, you know, too cold or whatever. So they've been doing really well in there. They get in there, they got plenty of straw, snuggle in there, and keep nice and warm. So anyway, trying to get back into the groove, back into the swing of things, of trying to upload more frequently. And anyway, so let's get to feeding the animals. We've got a pretty good smorgasbord of stuff today. Going back here for our piggies first. We've recently moved them into our, what's gonna be our garden area. As you can see, they're really doing a nice job kind of rooting up everything, getting everything tilled up for us. So we've got a little bit of water-soaked grains along with some corn I'm gonna throw in there for him. And then the next thing is just sort of scraps from the kitchen. A little bit of rice, some veggies, some eggs in there, and stuff they can gather some nutrients from and use up. So if you'll notice, they're all over the kitchen scraps, and they've still got corn over here. They would much rather eat this variety of food from the kitchen than they would their pellets. They just seem to really like that a lot more. So I thought that was kind of funny. For our chickens, they're doing a lot of grazing, and they're out and about, just kind of cleaning up stuff around. But I'm gonna throw them a little bit of cracked corn here, and I also got something kind of special for him later. So on top of their hay, I'm giving them a little bit of cracked corn as well, because both of these ewes are carrying lambs, I believe. I strongly believe. They should be, hopefully anyway. And this guy right here is going to be going in the freezer. So I'm just going to try to fatten him up, give him a little corn, get him nice and plump for his dinner date with us very, very soon. Basically, I'm just waiting to confirm that these two are indeed pregnant, which I'm very, very certain that they are, just based on the way that they look. And they've been in here with them for several weeks, so they should be with lambs. And as long as they are, we can do away with this guy. And we've got another younger sheep that we'll talk about later. So the neighbor has a huge sheep operation, and whenever they get a sheep that's, you know, for instance, this one had mastitis. The ewe that dropped the lamb had mastitis, so they didn't want to bottle feed it, basically. And of course they didn't want it, you know, to die, but they just didn't have time to bottle feed it. So they called us up, asked us if we wanted it. We said, heck yeah. Then a few days later, they came with another one from some other issue. And so we ended up with 2 more baby bottle-fed lambs. So right now we have 5 lambs on the farm. There's 1 ram and 1 ewe for the new babies. So we've got a new ram, and this guy has been trying to basically knock us down, and he's just gotten on my nerves too many times. And to be honest, he's just an extra mouth to feed, and if he's done his job, then he can be food then. And hopefully this other ram will grow up and be a breeder for us next year, because it'll be about the right time. And so if, you know, as long as he's, you know, a good breeder and whatnot, but if he's not, we can always go to the livestock auction and get another ram. So it's been a cold, hard winter, and I know a lot of the chickens have really slowed down on their eggs, producing their eggs. So what I'm going to do is I'm digging up some of my red wigglers, and I'm just going to give them a burst of extra protein that they can use to hopefully jumpstart their egg production. Because I gave them a break, because, you know, laying eggs is probably pretty hard, and so I don't want to overwork them. I gave them a break, but it's time to start laying again. So, you know, 2 a day out of 20 chickens is not going to work. So let's get them started and laying again, and hopefully this little extra super rich protein is going to help them get going.